Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today we're going to be doing my favorite strength moves. We're going to hit total body, so you'll get all of those favorite exercises. We're just going to keep it 15 minutes because what I want to do is I want to give you a basic run through, and then depending on how much time you have and how many times you want to go through, you can keep doing it. You can do more sets, okay? So all you need today is your mat and various sizes of dumbbells. So let's get started. I just did upper body yesterday, so I am going to keep my weights low, but I'm still going to demonstrate. I'm going to go through it with you, and you're going to get a great workout. But I encourage you to challenge yourself, right? If you're just getting started, focus on slow, controlled movement, engaging the proper muscles rather than going super heavy, and then stay there for as long as it takes until you really feel like your body knows what it's doing, you're moving properly, and then increase your weights. And make sure that when you're increasing your weights, it's more about being able to do the whole thing until you get to those last few reps. Those last few reps, every set should be a serious challenge for you, almost to the point of you can hardly get through that last rep. If you're burning through it and you can complete all those reps really easily, then you're not lifting heavy enough and you need to move your weights up to challenge yourself, okay? So first move is Arnold press. So we start with our dumbbells in our hands, palms facing up, our arms are at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to rotate those out into a goalpost, and we're going to press up towards the ceiling using those shoulders, lower back down, and then we're going to rotate back to center, really hitting that middle back, all those muscles that help us with that good posture. Here we go, and then we flow through it, slow and controlled, one fluid motion, keeping those shoulders back and down while we're doing it. All right, and if you're going for strength, we're doing between 8, 10, 12 reps here, okay? We're not doing low weight, high reps. We're doing heavy weight, lower reps when we're building that strength. If you're doing lower weights, high reps, you're going to be working more on endurance than strength, okay? So I don't know how many we counted here, but let's just do one more and return. So that's Arnold press. So that's our first move. Our second move is alternating hammer and bicep curl. I like this one because it really challenges you to engage all of the front of your arm here, right? Your biceps. So we're going to hold our weights in our hand. We're going to start with that bicep curl. So our palms are facing up, and we're just going to roll those shoulders back and down, okay? Keeping that core nice, strong, and tight, good solid base, and we're going to just gently pull up. Most people will just flop back down, but actually you get most of your workout in this move on the release, slow and controlled, and then we're going to rotate for our palms to face us, and then we're going to hammer curl it up and slow lower back down, and then rotate back to that bicep curl. Slow lower, controlled, rotate, hammer curl. Okay, and then we're just going to move through this. If you feel a lot of pressure in your neck for this one or in your shoulders, give yourself a second, roll your shoulders back, really like you're pinching that pencil between your shoulder blades, okay? And we want all of that tension to be in our biceps. Okay, of course, your shoulders are stabilizing, but we don't want that tension to be in our neck. We want the work to be isolated in our biceps on this one. If you feel that tension in other places, again, move back to start, roll the shoulders back and down, and maybe lower the weight until you can properly engage the right muscle here, okay? So we would do 8 to 12 of these. One thing that I like to do is I like to go 3 times through, and I will start with a challenging but lighter weight, and I'll do 12 reps, And then the next set, I will increase the weight to a medium challenge weight, and I will do 10 reps. All right, we'll say that's the last one. And then for the last one, I'll only do 8 reps, but I will do the heaviest, most challenging, where I'm getting to the end and I'm really struggling through those, okay? So that is alternating hammer and bicep curl. And then lat pull down with resistance band, or you know what? There are so many ways that you can do this exercise. You can do this with, what's that thing called? A functional trainer. So like with like the pulleys, resistance training, you can do it with that, sitting down, lat pull downs, okay? Or you can do with a resistance band, holding a resistance band above your head and pulling down. Or I have dumbbells here. I'm just going to do it with dumbbells. So we're going to lift our dumbbells straight above our head. Our shoulders are back and down. Our core is in tight. We're not arching our back, right? We're keeping everything strong here. And then we're just going to slow lower behind our head here. Really feeling it, letting those elbows drop down, feeling that in the middle of your back, just below your shoulder blades, and then slowly pressing back up. So again, this is a really slow and controlled move. Taking the time to feel which muscles are working here, okay? Slow and controlled. Yeah, see, it's really at the bottom that you feel those lats engage. Keep your shoulders back and move through it. Let me show you. Keep going. I'm going to show you with a resistance band here. Get to see a close-up of my pants. They're nice pants. Zach just told me today he likes them. I said, because they're bright and sunny. So if you're doing this with a resistance band, you're going to hold it above your head, and you're going to slow pull down behind you. So you're pulling the band apart as you are moving behind you. So your elbows are trying to touch slightly, okay? Really feel those muscles engage. We're getting these muscles all through here, okay? Those are the muscles that are usually weaker that are going to help us with our posture, okay? So we're going to be doing 8 to 12 of those. Great job. Okay, next we're going to move on to lower body. So I like to do stiff leg deadlifts with either an Olympic bar, or we have this easy bar. I love this thing. If you don't have this, you can use dumbbells. So I'm going to show you first with this. So the difference between a regular deadlift and a stiff leg deadlift is your starting position. So for a normal deadlift, you start standing up. You have your weights in your hand, and then you're moving down. Stiff leg deadlift, you're starting with the weight on the floor, and you are lifting up, squeezing, and then lowering back down, release, and then we're going to grab it again, okay? So if you're using the bar, ooh, yeah, we're squeezing, really engaging the back of our thighs, engaging our glutes at the top. Yep, nice and slow and controlled. Now, if you're not using a bar, you're just using some dumbbells, you're going to want heavier dumbbells for this. I'm not even going to use those because that'd be silly. 5-pound dumbbells for a deadlift. But we're going to do the same thing, okay? So we're going to have them on the floor here, okay? So our starting position is here. Now, you want to protect your back on this one, so we're keeping our core drawn in, all right? Slow lower, straight back, shoulders are back and down, okay? So slight bend in your legs as you're picking up, and then we're going to lift, squeeze, and then lower back down and release. Squeeze, lower back down, and release, okay? Obviously, if you have some back problems, don't do this one, okay? But the key for this one is to use your legs and your glutes to lift your body, keeping your core drawn in tight. What I like about this one is this helps mimic real life daily activities, right? Most people will injure themselves by leaning over to pick up something silly off the floor, right? So that's why we want our exercises to mimic the daily activities we're doing here, right? So that we don't get injured, so that we have the strength to show up as we need to, okay? Remember, keeping our back straight, core is engaged, really pressing our feet into the ground through those heels, driving through, squeezing, and then releasing, okay? So you're gonna do about 8 to 12 of those. Okay, so that's the stiff leg deadlift, one of my favorites. My other favorite is a deep squat. I like a deep squat because, again, we're starting in the opposite position, because usually for a squat we start at the top and then we lower down, loading the muscle and releasing. Deep squat, we're starting at the bottom. So grab weights, lower body, I always do heavier, right? So we're actually starting at the bottom, okay? And then what we're doing is we're squeezing our glutes. We've got our core engaged and we're standing up and then lowering back down. And that's one. And then we're squeezing, standing, lowering back down, okay? Squeezing, standing, lowering back down. So I like this one because it really isolates a lot of more frequently unused muscles as well, some deeper muscles, some smaller muscles, while still engaging the big muscle groups. Standing, lowering back down, okay? It'll get your heart rate up too. So I'll show you from the side. So we're lowering down, got that deep squat, our heels are on the floor, our knees are out wide, and we are standing. Woo. Yep. Okay, if you're feeling some pressure in your low back, make sure that you have your shoulders back and down, your core is engaged, and we're standing and lowering back down. Okay, so you do 8 to 10 of these, or 8 to 12, depending. If you want to do that flow that I did, you start with 12, next one is 10, and then 8, starting with a lower weight, medium weight, higher weight. Okay, so that's the deep squat. And then side plank, we're going to start in our side elbow plank here. Okay, make sure I'm in the thing here. So you can stack your feet, you can have, because we're going to use this leg, okay? If this is too hard, you're going to drop down one knee, okay? Still stay on the elbow. Core is tight, hips are slightly pressed forward, got our shoulders back and down. We're going to lift that leg, extend the left arm above our head, and then we're going to draw it in, knee to elbow, and then extend back down, and that's one, okay? So if that's not a challenge enough for you, you're going to go up into that full side plank, yeah, and move through it. In this one, we would do 12 on each side, okay? Whew. Yeah. Again, if that gets too challenging for you, drop down, drop that leg. You're still keeping your hips pressed forward, okay? You're just reducing some of that tension in your core, okay? No idea what number we're on, but that's okay. And we would switch sides. All right, we gotta flip the ponytail around, right? All right, so we're on our side. We're lifting those hips up, keeping everything pressed forward and controlled, tight, shoulders directly above that elbow, extending that arm out above our head, and then drawing the leg up and back out. And breathe. If that gets too challenging, drop down on that knee, move through it. Really keep your core engaged on this one. Try to challenge yourself here, okay? So even if you can only do 1 or 2 in this full raised position, go ahead and do that. All right, we would move through 3 sets of 12 on that, and that's it. So Arnold press. Remember, Arnold press. Okay, alternating bicep curl, bicep, release, rotate, hammer, release, rotate back to bicep. Okay, lat pull down with resistance band or weights, or with the bar and machine. Okay, pull it down behind us, slow and controlled. Great. And then we would do the stiff leg deadlift. We're starting in the bottom position here, keeping our back straight, core is engaged, lifting with those glutes and those thighs, returning to that released position. Okay, stiff leg deadlift, good. And we've got deep squat. So we're starting in that deep squat position, one weight or two, doesn't matter. Keeping our shoulders back and down, knees out wide, glutes engaged, pressing up, squeezing, and release back down into that deep squat. Heels stay on the floor. If that is too hard for your ankles, you can put a towel or a block under your heels to give yourself a little bit deeper motion without the tension on the back of your ankles. Okay, and then that last one we just did was that side plank crunch, either on our knee or full extension. Okay, that's that, or releasing that. Great. Okay, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that workout today. I see my husband's upstairs watching. I know he's not doing that workout. I know you're not doing it up there. All right, have a great day, guys.